Hello everybody, welcome to Style Me Hannah and welcome to another video. We have another sewing diaries video today and I can't even explain to you how perfect the conditions are for today's sewing. We've got rain, it's cloudy, it's a little bit chilly. Oh, I'm on holiday now, so we can sew all day and honestly, it is making me very happy right now. Today we are going to be sewing the Simply pattern. It is the 8551 pattern and it's this beautiful almost tunic type dress. I did do a beginner sewing guide episode 2 video where I went in depth going through this pattern, talking through all the different instructions and sewing symbols. I said I would sew this dress, so this is a continuation from that video. It was a really informative video, so if you're interested in sewing and learning how to sew, I have created a beginner sewing guide playlist that you can check out, and yeah, hopefully it will inspire you to sit behind a sewing machine and start sewing. As always, I have thrifted all the materials for this project, including this pattern. I'm going to be using this broderie anglaise, finally got the term, and the fabric that we are going to be using for this project is this gingham fabric. It is so cute and it's so perfect for summer and the hotter months that are coming up. I also am going to line it. I definitely have been wanting to make a conscious effort to line my projects. You do not have to line it. It doesn't have lining in the instructions, but I have decided to line it, and I am lining it with, I'm so bad with fabric terminology, but this very soft, it almost feels like chiffon-y fabric, but it is lining fabric, so I'm going to be lining the dress with that. I'm going to be lining the front bodice and the skirt. So without further ado, grab yourself a delicious hot beverage, grab yourself some snacks, get cozy, relax, enjoy, and let's get sewing together. Last night, I did take some time to cut out the pattern pieces. I marked all my marking. I didn't rush through it and skip marking everything because I want to take my time with this project. I want to really enjoy the process. I think sometimes I can get a little bit too excited and just want to do the project as quickly as possible, but then that leaves me with not the most well-sewn garments. The goal for this project is to take my time, follow the instructions. I don't usually follow sewing pattern instructions because I just kind of know the gist of how to put garments together, but I do want to really take the time to follow the instructions and see if maybe I'll learn something new. Maybe there's a new technique that I can add to my sewing tool belt. I'm going to start off by sewing the darts in the shell fabric and the lining, and I'm also going to make the tie straps for the dress. I'll catch up with you when I've done a bit of sewing. I just finished attaching the shell and the lining together just so that it makes it a little bit easier for the next couple of steps. Like I say, that doesn't include this in the instruction. The next instruction is to sew the front bodice pieces up until the large dot that I have marked over here. Just finished stitching that 1.5 seam allowance to the dot. This is what we are working with now. I am so frustrated. I worked really hard on trying to get pattern matching, but I don't know if you can see, it's not really lining up, which the perfectionist in me wants to go and redo all of that, but I honestly just don't think it's going to line up. I think the fabric must have shifted when I was attaching the lining. It is what it is. I'm going to carry on. The one thing I will say is that these instructions don't state when you must finish off your seam. Obviously, I don't want a whole bunch of raw edges on the inside of my blouse. It does say to press them open, which means that I need to overlock each seam so that when you press it open, like that. It's like overlocked on this side and overlocked on that side. It doesn't state that in the instructions, so I'm just gonna kind of use my sewing intuition. We do still have to put the front facing on, but I think I'm gonna overlock the edges now. I overlocked the front bodice seam, gave it a press. That is done. Now the instructions tell me to make the straps, which I already did. Turn them right side, press them, and then I'm taking the bodice back, which I have here, and they say to put it right sides facing me, which I have here, and they want me to put the straps on the little marking that I have at the bottom and to baste that on. As I baste it on, and the next step is to pin front to back at shoulder and side seams. So I've got my back bodice here, right sides facing me, and then I'm going to put the front bodice right sides together, and I'm just going to pin at the shoulder seams and at the side seams. Have you guys finished watching the latest season of the Sewing Bee? I'm not sure what is actually on like DSTV now. I'll stream all my episodes, but the final came and went, and I won't give any spoilers, but I think the winner was so deserving, and I absolutely cried my eyes out when I watched the finale. It was so good. Keen to hear your guys' thoughts. Like, did you watch it? What did you think? Do you think that the winner deserved it? Who was your favorite? I get so sad when it's over because you just never know when the next season's gonna come out. But maybe I can go and re-watch some seasons to get my Sewing Bee fix in the meantime. What sewing YouTubers do you guys enjoy watching? Because I'm always so inspired by other sewing YouTubers and what they create, and I think it's so cool. And it's also very relaxing. Sewing content is just so nice on my brain. I must say I've really been enjoying from Carly B. I just love how whimsical she is, how chaotic but yet so calming her content is, and she's just so adorable. I absolutely love watching her. My nervous system really does enjoy her. I love With Wendy. She's also one of my faves. Sydney Graham, also really enjoy her content. Kiana Bonolo, I think that's how you say her name. Love her. She is so cool. She doesn't release as many long form videos as my little fangirl would like, but when she does release videos, I'm always so excited. She's just so talented. But yeah, I'm interested to see what sewing YouTubers do you guys watch. Share them down below. I'll be very interested to check them out. Polly is kindly modeling our bodice. It's looking really good. I think just that's left to do for the bodice is to do the facing for the back over here, for the back, and for the front. So I've got to interface the facing pieces, and I've got a little Hannah touch that I'm going to try and add to it. Hopefully it works out. I'm just going to show you how I did my interfacing. I realized I should have filmed it while I was doing it, but anyway. So I take the pattern pieces that I want to interface, I put it on my ironing board, and then I take my interfacing. So this is fusible interfacing, which means that when you iron over it, the glue on the one side of the interfacing melts onto your pattern pieces. So you got to make sure that the glue side is down. I pop it over my pattern pieces like so, and then I just iron over like that, making sure that it is glued onto the fabric. And then I cut out each pattern piece like so. And then what you are left with is fusible interfacing on that side and your fabric on this side. And essentially the fusible interfacing, or any interfacing really, just adds some stiffness to places where the pattern wants a little bit more structure. So around your collar like this, you want a little bit more structure so it isn't so flimsy and not holding its shape correctly. I've been trying to figure out this collar facing situation off camera because my brain is just not getting it. I've just basted it on to see what it would look like when I flip it, and I think I know where I went wrong. I sewed the front facing pieces together when I think they're meant to be separate. So I'm just unpicking and I'm going to just take that apart, but I can definitely feel that I am needing a lunch break. Back from lunch, had a little rest, and I'm feeling a bit better now. I feel like when you concentrate for so long, your brain just starts to not make sense of anything. But I must say the instructions so far have been like some steps are really well explained and then some are just really not. This whole facing situation, it's not very well explained. I don't even know if I've got this right. I've kind of just followed my sewing instincts, but I've pinned up the facing right sides together and I'm going to flip it. I've got an idea for how I'm going to finish it. Hopefully it's going to work. I'm not sure if it is going to, but fingers crossed. I've made myself a nice cup of tea. I've changed into my green pants, if you know, you know, because it has dropped a good couple of degrees now and the rain is still just coming down. So I want to get nice and cozy. I'm going to put on a podcast and yeah. So that was wrong. Guys, I have no idea. So I know like to some it might just seem like a simple facing that you stitch on, flip it right sides, and then it like kind of encloses the raw edges. But I have no idea. They've done it like where you sew up to like a notch and then, but now these pieces are folded over. So like, do you fold both pieces? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to try and figure this out and then I will catch up with you guys in a bit. I think I figured it out, guys, but honestly, it is not the prettiest. So there is still a raw edge here. And what I was thinking of doing is putting this embroidery anglaise all around the neckline and around the back. To finish off the edge, I am thinking of top stitching all of this here just to make sure everything lays nice and flat and it's neat. But my goodness, that really did make me think a little bit. I have been unpicking, I think, for the last hour. This neckline really has broken my brain. I try to put the embroidery anglaise around the neckline like how I planned, and I just thought, let me just do it and see what it looks like when it's completely finished. Shouldn't have done that because when I got to the end, it was pulling the neckline all funny and yeah, it just didn't sit right when I put it on. It was just splaying in all different directions. So I was so annoyed about it because obviously I had top stitched the embroidery anglaise down to the actual shirt. I've top stitched it around the collar. Obviously it was my fault for not double checking before committing so hard to the top stitching, but anyway, so I unpicked all of that, and in doing so it was fraying the neckline quite a bit and I think it pulled it out of shape. So when I redid the collar just shifted a bit and now things aren't lining up exactly how they need to, and it's really, really irritating me. It's so silly, and now that I've actually done it, I think I would prefer it if the facing tucked inwards so that you don't see the facing on the outside. But it's too late now. I literally cannot unpick it again. I don't think the fabric will withstand another unpicking session. So I've put it on. I'm going to just leave it as it is for now and move on to other things because yeah, it's just really irritating me. But it happens, it's sewing, it's one of those things. But I'll show you what it looks like. If you can tell by the lighting, it has gone completely dark outside. So we are working with very minimal light. And that is how long I've been unpicking for. So this is what we are working with. I'm glad that it is in the same fabric as the actual bodice because it doesn't stand out so much. But in person, it's quite wonky. It doesn't really line up. It's a bit wonky all over. The top stitching isn't the best. Maybe I'm just noticing it because I'm aware to it. So I'm hoping that if you just look at it quickly, it doesn't look as obvious. But yeah, and then this is the back. Sorry, the lighting is so bad, but yeah, that's pretty much where I am up to. The back ties are on, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do the broderie on glaze as I'd hoped, because my plan was to tie it in all together quite nicely by putting it around the neckline, putting it around the sleeves, around the bottom. Now I'm not sure if it's going to look a bit odd. I'll have to play around and see, because it really did look so cute. I was so devastated when I had to unpick all of it. It really made like it look so much more feminine and whimsical. Ooh, how's this lighting? Dinner is being made, so I'm going to be doing the sleeves and then I'll stop before I eat dinner. So let's try to see if we can get this top done before the end of the evening. I'm going to be stopping here for the evening. I managed to add the gathering stitches. These aren't attached, but I managed to add the gathering stitches to the head of the sleeve. I did the elastic at the bottom, and I just needed to put them on so that my eyes aren't drawn straight to the neckline. There is a little bit more going on now, and it makes me feel a little bit more confident. I'm going to be stopping for the evening, so tomorrow we will put the sleeves on and do the skirts. Don't think the skirt should take too long, but famous last words. I must say, I am so stoked with the neatness of the inside. Hold on, let me put it on the table. How beautiful that looks. The overlocking and then the tie. So obviously this is inside out. It makes me happy when the inside also looks beautiful. I am clocking out for today, guys. I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. We have another beautiful rainy sewing day, which I am very happy about, and I'm feeling a lot better after a good night's sleep. I was having a mini crash out over the blouse yesterday, but I'm feeling fine today. I just did some sewing prep. I pinned the sleeves to the armholes, overlocked the pockets, put the pockets on the skirt front and back, and I'm just going to sit and sew this all up. And I don't think it's going to be too much longer until we are finished this dress, which is very exciting. Guys, this dress is going to break me. Luckily I did one and then checked the sleeve. The sleeve is on the wrong way around. So this is the outside of the garment and my overlocker seam is sticking out on the outside. So I gotta unpick that, repin it, and try to figure out what happened. I'm having a little thought while I am unpicking the sleeve. When you are buying a pattern as a beginner or as a sewist in general, I think you need to buy a pattern that is based on the way that you absorb the information the most effectively. For example, if you're like an auditory learner, you may need like verbal instructions. If you need videos or if you need pictures, I am learning through this sewing pattern here that I am not a very good reading a big chunk of paragraph learner, because with these patterns that come in the envelopes, they try and concise the instructions as much as possible, so they don't give a lot of proper photos. All of the photos that they give you are almost like illustrations that you found in like a storybook. They're not actual photos of people sewing the garment. So it's very hard for my brain to read the excerpt of words and then look at the picture and put those two together. I have no idea why. I think it's just the way that my brain absorbs information. I mean, there's so many different kinds of patterns, which is amazing. And also there's also a whole bunch of different pattern makers. And to be honest, all the indie pattern makers, the actual sewers that are making patterns, make sewing patterns way better. I would definitely recommend that, is when you are buying a pattern, see what format the instructions come in and get the pattern that will make the most sense to you. So yeah, that's my thought while I am unpicking this, because I'm just wondering like what is happening with this pattern. It's a fairly simple pattern, it's not anything crazy, but goodness me, I don't know, my brain is just not in it lately. Comment down below, what type of learner are you and how do you find the easiest way for you to digest sewing pattern instructions? I'm so interested to see how you guys find these traditional patterns. Like, is it really the pattern? Is it me? Does everyone have a similar issue? Please comment down below so I know that I'm not alone in this. Do you know what the title of this video is going to be? The dress that broke my brain. They tell me that sewing is supposed to be relaxing, not an extreme like hobby. Guys, this is stressful. I'm stressing. I'm stressed. So sleeves are on. Yay, they look quite nice. Yes? Tell me why it's so small. Look at this pulling. It feels so uncomfortable. I followed all the instructions. I matched the notches up. I checked my size because I was in between sizes, so I sized up. I mean, it's not like so bad, but it is very uncomfortable to wear. I'm hoping that once the skirt is on, it's gonna look better. You wanna know what else happened? I got excited. I was like, yay, sleeves are on. I figured this out. Cool. Let's overlock. Oh, okay. Let's just cut a hole in your sleeve. To be honest with you, at this point, I would just kind of call this one a day and not think about it and move on to the next one. But I'm so determined to finish this and see what it looks like as a finished garment. I need your tips, guys. What do you do if this happens to you? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, it happens to me a lot. It does. The fabric just gets sucked into my overlocker, and before I know it, that little blade has sliced a hole in my garment, and it is always near the end. So I'm gonna try and hand stitch it closed. Luckily it's not in a super noticeable spot, but it's still irritating. Like, I don't want to have to do extra work like that. I'm gonna hand stitch this up and start putting the skirt together, and let's hope that this next part goes well. But honestly, it's comical at this point. It's comical. Okay, the next instruction says pin front to back at side seams, matching large dots. Stitch side seams, leaving an opening between large dots. Stitch pocket edges together from side seam to upper dot as shown. Okay, that I've done before, so I know how to do that. The instructions say press seam toward pocket, pressing the pocket out, which I did. Understitch front pocket by stitching through pocket and seam allowance close to seam. Now when I read that, I go, my brain can't make sense of that. And the picture is this. I'm I'm gonna pop it into the bodice now, but I'm not gonna film it because I think this video is gonna be quite long already. So I will finish off the dress off camera and then we will jump straight into the reveal. And that is the final look, guys. What a journey it has been. My goodness. It didn't come out as bad as I thought it would, but wow. What an emotional roller coaster this video was. I definitely do think I'm gonna make the pattern again, but I've got some cool hacks that I want to try with this one, where like maybe we do the Ghani style tie blouse front. So I'll hack it to kind of include that. Definitely going to make it a little bit bigger. It's not super bad now that I've added the skirt on. Yeah, it's not pulling too much, but definitely want to make it a little bit more loose, a little bit more comfortable. Overall, I am really happy with the dress. I will definitely wear it. I had to fix the little hole and it's not too noticeable. It's just made a little pleat there, but there you go. You can't see it. Thank you for spending this time with me and watching the chaos unfold in the sewing room. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe, join the Style Me Hannah family. I want to know what hobbies you guys have. Is it sewing? Is it knitting? Is it crocheting? Is it pottery, cooking, baking? Whatever it is, let me know what hobbies you enjoy in the comments down below. Other than that, everybody, I'm gonna love and leave you and I will see you in the next video. Bye.